University, and since our students are going there, so this topic is very relevant, and I'm sure we will all benefit a lot from his talk. Now let's welcome Monsignor Russell.
Really, I'm very happy to be here. Very great pleasure for me to be with you here today, and I hope that my English will not be too difficult. Maybe we can. So I'm really grateful for this invitation to give this lecture entitled The Vatican and the University, Commitment, Organization, and Characteristics. As you can discern from this title, I will offer some reflections on the Holy See's commitment to university education and the organization of Catholic institutes of higher learning throughout the world. And the final portion of my lecture will describe 6 distinctive characteristics of Catholic higher education. You know, the Church has many universities throughout the world, and what these 3 parts of my lecture, I think, could apply to many universities, but Catholic Church has a certain way of looking at things that I'll try to explain clearly as we go along. The first part, the commitment, Catholic Church's commitment. The history of higher education in the West clearly demonstrates that Catholicity, being Catholic, and the rigorous intellectual pursuits proper to the university belong together. I think no scholar can seriously claim that the great universities of Paris, Bologna, Salamanca, or Krakow were not authentic centers of learning, and they were all of them genuinely Catholic institutions. Sometimes, perhaps often, religious faith, people who believe in God, religious faith is thought to be incompatible with reason. This has never been the Catholic Church's understanding. For us, there are not different types of truth, faith truth or scientific truth. For us, there's only one sort of truth. The truth is one. There are not different types of truth. There can be no conflict between reason and faith, science and theology. In fact, our faith naturally leads to rational reflection. This is the fundamental conviction out of which, historically, all Catholic universities have been born. While the first universities were established without the direct intervention of either church or secular authority, many of these corporations of scholars and students soon sought and received recognition by the Holy See. Because their degrees were granted by the authority of the Pope, they were recognized throughout the Christian world. With every justification, Pope John Paul II could affirm that universities, at least those in the West, all the universities in the West, includes Europe and North America and South America, all the universities in the West have developed from the heart of the Church. Indeed, from a historical perspective, the Church is due the honorary title of the foundress of universities. The first university in the West is the Gregorian University. So let me talk in my second part of my lecture is the organization a little bit of the Holy See. I just want to clarify some terminology. Here in Taiwan, I'm the diplomatic representative of the Holy See. The word see comes from the Latin word sedes, meaning chair. So the Holy See refers to the holy chair or holy throne of St. Peter, who was the first among Jesus' immediate circle of followers. Here, this is a statue of St. Peter in the Vatican. And it's brass, and you see people are rubbing his feet. Everyone thinks you rub his feet, it brings good luck. So this is the St. Peter sitting on his chair in the Vatican. We Catholic Christians believe that the authority that Jesus gave to Peter is meant for the Church of all times and places. Pope Benedict XVI is the successor of St. Peter. He has authority over the Catholic Church throughout the world. That's 1,117,000,000 members, about 18% of the world's population. And at the same time, he is the sovereign of the very tiny Vatican city-state, which has a population of about maybe 600 or 700 people. The Holy See is usually used to refer to the central government of the Catholic Church. I'll show you some photos of the Vatican. St. Peter's Basilica, the inside of St. Peter's, ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Those of you who are going, you can see all this for yourself. Vatican Gardens. We know the Swiss Guard. Anyway, some people may use the term Vatican to refer to the Holy See. Vatican City is the capital of the Vatican City-State, just as some people use the term Washington to refer to the United States of America, or Taipei, well, we say Chinese Taipei, I don't know why you need the Chinese Taipei to refer to the Republic of China and Taiwan. I also need to say a brief word about the Church's structure, just very brief. The Church is organized on the basis of two principles, territoriality and subsidiarity. By territoriality, I mean that the Church is generally divided into geographic areas with different levels of authority proper to each. This is very much like civil authority. You know, you have towns or villages, they have their mayor, and then you have the county, municipality, you have this magistrate, the county, and then you have the central government. The Catholic Church is very much like this. So from the smallest is a parish led by a priest, a diocese led by a bishop, and then the dioceses are grouped in province. Taiwan is one church province. And then there can be federations of bishops' conferences for a geographical area of the world, and there's one for Asia. Its headquarters is in Hong Kong. The Taiwan bishops belong to that one. And then at the top, the Holy See. So that's the territory. And then subsidiarity, I mean that tasks, issues, and problems are handled on the lowest possible level. For us, we don't go to the top right away. We try and work things out on the lowest level, the smallest level. And if that smallest level cannot deal with a problem, then it goes up to the next level. It's why the Holy See, 1,117,000,000 people, the central government of the Holy See, direct people working for the Holy See, is only 3,000 people. And that includes everyone, the police and the firefighters, everyone, and people like me. Only 3,000 people in the Church's central government. We're very efficient. Why? Because we put handling things on the lowest possible level. So we don't, the people at the top, they just deal with the very serious problems. If the matter can't be resolved by the lower authority, it is dealt with by the next higher level. Some issues can only be decided by the Pope. It's humanly impossible for the Pope personally to handle all the matters in which he alone is competent. Therefore, he associates to himself various experts. Grouped together, this is known as the Roman Curia, which is a nice Latin word. The central offices are dicasteries of the Catholic Church. Each of these offices is headed by a cardinal. Here you see a bunch of cardinals wearing their red. The most important of all these offices is the Secretariat of State, with the section for general affairs, which is matters internal to the Church, and the section for relations with states, or diplomatic relations with countries. After the Secretariat of State, there are congregations, tribunals, courts, pontifical councils, and other offices and institutions connected with the Holy See. Matters concerning education are handled by the Congregation for Catholic Education. So a congregation is already the highest type of office, so you see that the importance of education has a high office headed by a cardinal. It was founded by Pope Sixtus V on 22nd January 15 1588. So that